Yo, 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 everybody, what's up, man? We're going to be reviewing a book that I think has one of the greatest cover illustrations in the history of books and cover illustrations. Look at that painting. That is by Michael Whelan, that painting. Just look how beautiful that thing is. You know I always review the covers. I'm Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Art, The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. Today we're going to be reviewing the Stone King. That's not the Stone King. That ain't even close. We're not reviewing the Stone King. I don't even know if that's a book. We're reviewing The Snow Queen by Joan D. Vinge, or D. Vinge. I don't know how you pronounce that. This book won the Hugo Award in 1981 as the best science fiction novel of the year. Well deserved. A lot of our readers nowadays don't know about this book or this series. There's the Snow Queen and the Summer Queen right here. Also, the Summer Queen also with a magnificent painting by Michael Whelan. I mean, that dude, Michael Whelan, man, that dude is dope. That guy's paintings are dope. Look at that again. Let's just bask in the glory of that painting as we are, before we analyze the entire wonky font and graphic design atop it. Well, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Do a great painting and put that on it. I don't know what this is. You know, we always review the covers. We always review the graphic design because I love graphic design and I love cover illustrations. Here we've got the greatest painting on the planet sitting underneath probably the wonkiest graphic design element I think I've ever seen on a book. But what can you do? What can you do? It's a wash, right? It's a wash. The painting makes up for it. Painting makes up for it. Published by Questar. I'm not offending anybody because Questar doesn't exist anymore. So whoever did that, it doesn't matter. Snow Queen, one of the greatest space opera science fiction novels ever written. Ever written. If you saw my top 30 science fiction novels of all time, you know this one finished real high up on the list. This thing is dynamite. Dynamite, 1981, and people just aren't reading it anymore. And we got to get people reading this again because it blows almost everything away that's coming out nowadays. That's how hot this is. So what is this about? Well, it's a very political, action-packed space opera set on a planet called Tiamat, specifically in the city of Carbuncle. Now, Tiamat is this place. It's water. It's like, just picture Dune, Arrakis and Dune, how it was sand and desolate and sand. Well, Tiamat is desolate but water, and the water is sort of like the spice, where the water is the water of life throughout the universe. People can only access this planet every 150 years through the black gates. They're time gates. They're like these stargates, and that's how space travel happens in this universe. But only every 150 years will they open up near this planet, and that's when the people can come and harvest the water of life that, kind of like the Dune stuff. This is relies very, very heavily on Dune mythology, but it does it and twists it and it makes it its own in all the greatest ways. So it's also a riff off of Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale of the same name. So it's got a dual purpose here. It's sort of like a retelling of this old fairy tale, but out in outer space. So Tiamat's the planet. Carbuncle is the city we're in. Now, Carbuncle sits on the ocean. And it's kind of like, imagine a seashell sitting on the ocean like a seashell. Well, but like one of those cone-like seashells, like the ones that kind of, like, they look like carbuncles. They just twirl up. And it's kind of like a layered city, much like the Tower of Babel in Senlin Descends, which I just recently read, where the city is in layers and it spirals up and up and up and up and up and up. It sits on the ocean on stilts, But it's massive. It's like a great, big, huge Manhattan-sized city. And it sits on the ocean on stilts, and it spirals up and up and up and up and up into this big carbuncle-shaped thing. That's why it's called carbuncle. I don't even know if carbuncle-shaped thing is even a thing. I hope you understand how I'm explaining this, but what's going on here in this city is we've got the queen, the Snow Queen, and her reign is coming to an end, and when the Snow Queen's reign comes to an end, well, they sacrifice her. So imagine if you're the Snow Queen and your reign was great, things were awesome. People was giving you stuff, you were living in palaces, every whim was met, but now your reign is ending and they're gonna sacrifice you. Because the Summer Queen is coming. And they don't need no more Snow Queen. They got the Summer Queen. You know, decades have passed and your time is, you've had a good run for a few decades, Snow Queen, but we're gonna. So the Snow Queen named Arianrod is like, I'm in charge here, right? Well, I don't think I won't be sacrificed. So then the political machinations start. And we got a lot of stuff going on. It is fantastic. And then we've got these two kids from far off in the ocean that venture to Carbuncle, the city. One named, and this is the very coming of age tale with these, and it centers around Arianrod, the Snow Queen, and these two kids, Moon Dawn-Treader, and her cousin / boyfriend, Sparks. And these two come to Carbuncle. Well, actually, Moon Dawn-Treader goes to Carbuncle first, and Sparks is in love with her, and he follows her to find her. Well, Moon Dawn-Treader, we won't tell you. Is she the next Snow? Is she the next Summer? We don't know. We don't know because there's a lot of mystery behind both these two characters. And they get involved in a lot of the political crap that's going on in this massive city and these stargates that are starting to open and things like that. And then we've got one of my favorite characters, two of my favorite characters in all of science fiction. And that is Jerusha, the police detective, and her buddy, or her police detective friend, Gondolinu. It's kind of like the sheriff and the deputy, right? And these guys are kind of like, if you imagine kind of the setting of Blade Runner, a little like Carbuncle, the city of Carbuncle kind of reminds me a lot of the Blade Runner stuff, and the police there, and just, so now we've got Arianrod, Sparks and Moon, Jerusha the policeman, and her detective Gondolino, and then we've got a lot of other people like the Snow Queen's bodyguards, and there's a lot of dueling, there's a lot of fighting, and there's a lot of action, there's a lot of stuff. There's just so much political intrigue and action packed into this book. You wouldn't think it by the cover. But it has got everything that you love about Blade Runner on times 10 and put on acid. And then it's got everything that you love about Dune but put on a water world. And then it's got everything about every great space opera you like. And it is just dynamite. It's fantastic. It's a very Machiavellian, very just, oh my gosh, it's just sumptuous to read. And Joan writes she writes as well as Frank Herbert. That's for sure. And this book is smoking hot. I've read it probably 5 or 6 times over the course of my life. That's how much I've loved it. And the sequel, I will tell you, the sequel is more focused on the police detective Jerusha and Gondolinu, and it's even bigger and better. I mean, the world that's opened up in the Snow Queen really gets opened up in the Summer Queen. Is that the Summer? Yeah, the Summer Queen. It's like, what is it? I don't know why my brain ain't working. Snow Queen, Summer Queen. 2 just amazing books that people need to start rereading. These things, if they were made into movies, they would knock out Dune, they would knock out Star Wars, they would knock out all of it. That's how just freaking awesome. Hugo Award. I'm not alone in my opinion here, folks. 1981, this lady won the Hugo Award for this book. I ain't alone in this opinion. This thing is a classic on the level of Dune that just people don't realize that. And they gotta start. Gotta start. Gotta start reading some of these older classics. 10 out of 10. It can't be anything less than that. 10 out of 10 for the Snow Queen.